could the minister consider collaborating with the consortium of the 7th August 1998 victims to identify and enroll surviving Kenyan victims of the 1998 bombing of the United States of America Embassy in Nairobi into the social assistance program currently being implemented in the ministry and by the ministry?
Thank you. CS.
To get to the question, Mr. Speaker, I would like to say the following. Yes, we are considering, and this is something that we're working on. The Ministry of Labor and Social Protection met with the officials of the victims Tumaini 1998 on 18th October 2023. And during that meeting, it was noted that there is need for the leadership of Tumaini 1998 bomb blast victims to provide a list of victims stating clearly their names, ID numbers, contacts, and their unique needs so as to support them, because we needed to identify those who are genuine 1998 bombing victims. We also wanted to ensure that the process and eligibility criteria for selection into the Inua Jamii program, which requires certain exemptions to this group, may be to enable them to be targeted and enrolled into the program. And also considering that children of the affected bombing victims, the Presidential Secondary School Bursary program. Similarly, in addition to this, the National Council for Persons with Disabilities held a meeting with the representatives of the survivors on Friday, 27th October 2023. In the meeting, the team was taken through a detailed presentation of the Council's mandate and potential areas where the victims can be supported, including scholarships for disabled children, recommendations for tax waivers for persons living with disabilities, and provision of assistive devices, among others. It is noteworthy to mention that no list of victims, Mr. Speaker, has been availed to my ministry to confirm whether they meet the eligibility criteria for enrollment into the Inua Jamii program. I don't know where the failing is, but I think it's a very good question by Senator Kavindu, and I want to congratulate her for her care about this issue, because when I was the Minister for Foreign Affairs, we were in a session where she brought up the same a similar question concerning these victims. But let me repeat that so far, we have not received any information, eligibility criteria for enrollment to the Inua Jamii program with a list of victims that we can onboard. Mr. Speaker, the possibility of including the survivors into the social assistance program is very high. The State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizens Affairs within the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection implements 3 social assistance programs. One is the Inua Jamii program, which targets older citizens aged over 70 years and above, poor households taking care of persons with severe disability, and orphans and vulnerable children. When you look at the older persons, there is an older persons cash transfer. And as you know, our president directed that before his salary and the salary of ministers and public servants is paid, that the money is paid to our Inua Jamii recipients. One must be above 70 years old and a holder of a Kenyan national ID to qualify for the older person's cash transfer, and should have a caregiver with a valid Kenyan national identification card, and must not be in any government pension to avoid double dipping. Now, when it comes to orphans and vulnerable children cash transfer program, poor Kenyan households with any one or more of the older persons or of children, vulnerable orphans and vulnerable children aged between 0 and 17 years, or basically 0.1 and 17 years, is a permanent member. A household with a caregiver is chronically ill and unable to perform his or her duties, and lastly, a household not benefiting from similar social assistance programs. C, for those with people with severe disability cash transfer program, they are meant for a poor household with a person with severe disability who requires 24-hour care, a household not enrolled in a similar program, and a beneficiary who is a Kenyan citizen. In order for the victims, and I think Madam Kavindu Senator will agree with me, For the victims of the 1998 National United States Embassy bombing survivors to be included, they should meet the criteria, which is we should meet the criteria that has been given above, presented above. I would also like to point out, Mr. Speaker, that in the case, because this case happened in, it's been over 18 years now since the bomb blast happened, and if there were children who were affected or were left behind at that time, they are now over 18. Therefore, they do not qualify at this particular time for any of the programs because they are above the limit of age given by the law. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavidu, do you have any supplementary question?